You know, we could all use some encouragement. And I've got some good news for you. Welcome to 5 Minutes with Mark. Hey, greetings friends, and welcome back to 5 Minutes with Mark. We're picking up the story today in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 5, at verse 25. Remember, Jesus is on his way to Jairus' house, whose daughter is dying, after getting back from casting out the legion of demons in the man on the wrong side of the lake. There's a great crowd of people following him. And Jesus is going. And there was a woman who had a discharge of blood for 12 years, and who had suffered much under many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and was no better, but rather grew worse. She had heard reports about Jesus, and came up behind him in the crowd, and touched his garment, for she said, "If I touch even his garment, I will be made well." And immediately the flow of blood dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of her disease. Wow. Now here is an act of faith. This woman who had a discharge of blood, and I believe that's a gynecological issue. I believe that's what that means. For 12 years. And she had spent everything she had. She'd gone to doctor after doctor after doctor. She had tried every medicine. She had done everything, and it got worse. Hey, doesn't sound like medicine was any better back then than it is today, right? How many people just spend their entire lives chasing doctors and medications trying to get better? And they don't. It just makes it worse. Or at worst, it does nothing at all, except drain you of all your resources, just like it did this woman right here in the Bible. Anyway, she had heard reports about Jesus, and she said in her head, man, if I can just grab hold of just the tiniest bit of him, I can be healed. And so, can you imagine the story? Imagine the picture. Here she is fighting her way through this crowd of people. He finally gets off the boat. She sees her chance, and she begins digging her way, clawing her way, fighting her way through legs and arms and feet and people, and pushing them aside and crawling on hands and knees, whatever she has to do until she can finally get to him and grab hold. That's an act of faith. And she's rewarded for that act of faith because she's healed. Jesus doesn't even say anything to her. She's healed by her faith. Now, I believe people are healed by faith today. Same thing's happening. But how many people are willing to do what she did? To fight, to claw, to push through, to endure, to not let obstacles get in the way, to get to Jesus, to make it, just to lay hands on his garment. How many of us are persistent that way? How many of us are willing to go to extraordinary lengths, personal effort, just to lay hold of his garment? See, I think we want it too easy today. We just want to take a pill and have our problems go away, really, so we go to the doctor and hope we get a better pill. When it comes to our spiritual need, we just want to go to church, hear a good sermon, be blessed. But we don't want to have to push through the difficulties. We don't want to have to endure the suffering. We don't want to have to force our way through an act of will and self-pushing to get to him. We don't want to go through whatever we have to go through to get to Jesus. We don't want to go through anything to get to Jesus. We just want to say the magic words and have all our problems go away. But Jesus is not a pill. Jesus is not a genie. Jesus is not a legend. He is the Son of God, the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings, the ruler of all creation. And he is there. And he is available. And he's not going anywhere. But laying hold of Jesus is going to cost you something. In fact, it's going to cost you everything. But Jesus said, what profits a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? Look, I can tell you from my own experience, surrendering to Christ is the most valuable thing you'll ever do. Giving up on the world and fighting your way through the mental, the emotional, and the physical obstacles that are before you in order to pull all of that off and reach out and lay hold of him. It's life-changing. And it gives us a hope beyond the suffering, a hope beyond this veil of tears that we dwell in. It's the most important thing you'll ever do. And so today, I encourage you, do whatever it takes. Study, talk, read, listen, contemplate, pray, beg, weep, whatever you have to do. But make your way to him. Lay hold of his garment and feel your life transformed. I promise it'll happen. It happened to me. See you next time. I hope you're enjoying this Bible study, this quick devotion. If you'd like more content, you'd like to know more about me and see more of the things that I'm doing, check out my website, theeclecticmonk.com. There you'll find out about my video vlog, my podcast, and a whole lot of other stuff. Hope you'll join me there. Thanks.